The Empress of Ming Dynasty, also known as Wanli Emperor's wife, it was her family who wanted power, so they forced her to marry the emperor. They said that she was too young to wed, but who really cared? Not her family. He was very handsome and brave, and when he first saw the young empress, he was taken aback by her beauty. He couldn't believe that such a young girl could be so graceful and elegant. Because all they cared about was power. And the young girl was just a pawn in their game. And when he died, the empress's son took over the throne. The new emperor was kind and compassionate, and he was very grateful to his mother for giving him life. He had moved on long ago and he was now a monk. Despite his initial reluctance, the royal warrior eventually agreed to marry the empress. Was probably the most beautiful woman in the whole empire. The two lovers were reunited after many years, and they were both overjoyed. But their happiness was short-lived. But despite being so stunning, the empress was heartbroken, but she was willing to put up with it. At least she would be able to spend the rest of her life with the man she loved. She wasn't loved by her husband. The empress became more and more beautiful. And as she grew older, their romance was doomed from the start. The emperor caught them together one night and was furious. He banished the royal warrior from the kingdom and he married the empress to one of his close advisors. The emperor finally took notice of her beauty. The empress gave birth to the emperor's child, but she still wasn't happy. She missed her royal warrior and she couldn't stop thinking about what could have been. But by then, it was too late. The empress had already fallen in love with her royal warrior. In fact, he never even looked at her. Why? Because she wasn't his choice. He had no say in choosing his bride. You see, she was only 14 years old when she entered the palace, but despite her young age, she was extremely beautiful. The emperor's advisors knew this and that's why they kept telling the emperor to at least take a glance at her, to which the emperor would always reply, I have no interest in seeing her. She's nothing but a child. But one man did take interest in her, and that was the man who was supposed to protect her, her personal royal warrior. As the emperor grew older and more frail, in fact, they would talk for hours about everything and nothing. And the empress felt like she could finally be herself around him. Unfortunately, the story doesn't end there. One day, many years later, the emperor passed away. As a reward, he granted her wish to see her royal warrior one last time. The royal warrior had grown old and he had no interest in starting a new life with the empress. However, he made it clear that he would never love her.